So anybody who does open houses know there's always lapse in time, right? Like for some reason, 3 people come in the beginning, they wait till the absolute end, but there's a gap in the middle where nobody shows up. That's when I would fill out my thank you notes, stamp them, drive home, like it. Because I didn't do it, it wasn't getting done. So I would send the thank you note that day, and then the following Monday or Tuesday, give them a call and say, did you get my note? Thank you for coming to the open house, blah, blah, blah. It's a great follow-up system.
Well, and then you just put them into your database and the market leader and start sending them out other stuff.
Exactly.
And following up and set it up on a regular follow-up pattern.
Now with for sale by owners, it's the same thing. It's aggressive follow-up with these people. These are playing hard to get kind of people. They do not know they need you, but they do. This is a tough market to get them in because some of them are selling, some of them that make sense. But if you look at the statistics, it's still only 11%. 11%. And I bet you if you look at those 11%, half of them are realtors.
Or to family members.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of times it's family members.
So eventually they will listen. Who's going to be staying at the top of the mountain when they decide? You know, who's going to be the person that is ready to do it? The person who hung in there. It's a huge relationship game, but there's different stages. And I gave you some examples of the stages. There's 4 different stages that this is how let's go through. There's the 1 through 10 days when I can do it. There's the but if you see a for sale by owner that's been on the market for 5 days, would you still call them over and see the house?
Yes. Probably.
Truthfully, would you? I would like to think that you would say yes, but a lot of people have a limiting belief that they're strong right now. Why would I bother wasting my time? Well, if I thought that way and Jim didn't, and he went over and built a rapport right off the bat, who's going to have a strong relationship come day 50 when they break down? So it's the person who stays with them the longest. It's a huge relationship game. Then you got the 10 to 20, where they usually have like their 5th or 6th open house that only realtors show up to, right? Then they have their 20 to 30 days. That's their frustration. That's when they'll start asking you questions like, what do you think my house is worth? Well, that's a very good question. Then there's the 40 to 50 where one of the 2 people in that marriage is saying, maybe we should talk to a realtor. The other one's going, no, I can do this. And then right around 50, 60 days, they break down. That's just a pattern. And the trick is to have 5 to 10 people in each stage at all times. That's how you list for sale by owners. Having one person that you called to that yelled at you and never call them again is not a strategy. But that's how you list for sale by owners. You've got to have 5 to 10 of these people in each stage of this process. It's tough to keep track of. That means you're going to have how many people you're talking to? 25 to 50. How many for sale by owner signs have you driven by in the last week? Not 25 to 50. So you got to hunt them. Do you guys live in Dr. Phillips? No, where do you live? Not your exact address, I'm trying to be creepy. Windermere. So how many different ways is it from there to get from here to Windermere? There's a lot of different ways, right? Or how many different ways is there to get from your office in Turkey Lake to Windermere? How many different ways could you go?
There's a few.
It's a few.
Not the way.
Do you go the same way every day? Pretty much.
To the office, but I have kids, I go all over the place.
So what if you took a different way home every day? Made it just block it as part of your lead generation. And you're just you still have a destination to go home, but you're going to take maybe a longer route today. And keep your eye open for those big red bullseyes. Because every time that you drive by a for sale by owner, you might as well reach in your pocket, take out like $5,000 and throw it out the window. Because what's going to happen is, if you drive that same way every day, you're going to drive by it, and there's going to be a RE/MAX sign in your yard by somebody that you can't stand, and you're going to go, oh and then it's going to sell. And it's going to be on for like $15,000 less than it was on Craigslist for. And you all had the skills to be able to pull that off. But you just didn't, because you didn't call, you just drove by, you said, oh, tomorrow. So for me, I would go on Zillow, I would go anywhere, just start calling. Send emails, go up, I never really door knocked a for sale by owner the first time, because they're very anti-realtor. It's just not something that I always did. I call first. I drive on the sign, take a picture, and say, listen, I'm the real estate expert in the neighborhood, and I want to be aware of everything that's selling. So can I come over and see what your house looks like?
What about the question, are you going to bring buyers?
I would love to. I work with hundreds of buyers, and I would hate to waste your time by bringing 100 buyers over if I haven't seen it myself. You're not telling them you have a buyer for the house. You're just telling me you're the real estate expert, and I want to see the place. You have a house to sell? I sell houses. Doesn't it naturally make sense that we meet? What do you do for a living? I'm a doctor. Well, I certainly wouldn't go try and operate heart surgery tomorrow. So that's how I got my foot in the door. Now, can you count that as an appointment? That's the biggest question. If you call them and say, I have a lot of buyers I work with in your area, and I want to come over and see what your house looks like. Can I come? And they say, yeah, come over tomorrow. Do you count that as an appointment?
Yes. According to the script, not really, because you follow up with.
It's a big debate. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer. For me, what I did was I counted, if I did 2 of those in a day, I would count it as an appointment. But when I get to the appointment to go back and give them the market analysis, I didn't count that as another appointment. You only get to count it once. Kind of like with us, we do a lot of career nights, right? So if a person comes in that's not licensed, and they want to learn about Keller Williams and how to get licensed, and we get them licensed. And then when they get their license, they call us up and say, I would like to come meet with you. We don't get to put in our log to Pat that we had 2 appointments. It's still just, we have to pick which one we're going to put the appointment with. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So same thing with for sale by owners. I believe that a preview is the only way to get into that many for sale by owners. You can write all the scripts you want, but it's the softest, easiest way to get into people who don't want to be with you. But you got to do like 50 of them to be able to get 15 appointments to get 7 listings. So that's all. It's just that simple.
And if you're there to preview the home, you can just kind of feel it out, how the owner's feeling, if there's resistance, so you're not going to approach them with a listing opportunity.
Never.
But if they are kind of just gelling with you a little bit, it wouldn't hurt, right?
Right. Right, so this is how it usually role plays. You show up with nothing. Nothing. You come, it's like when you watch the Wild West movies, they try to government trust, and they take a gun and they put it on the thing, and you walk in unarmed. You're not going to shoot an unarmed man, right? Right, so they don't bring their gun in. You're not bringing anything. You're just bringing a business card and a notepad. Because you promised that you weren't coming over there for the listing. Because they're going to say to you, 9 times out of 10, "Hey, you just come over to list my house?" I'll tell you what. I'll put $50 on your countertop. If I mention Keller Williams once, you can have it. I say it all the time. I'll put $50 on your countertop. If I mention the word Keller Williams one time, you can have it. And what happens is they mention it before me. I'm walking around building rapport, just being cool, right? Just hanging out, getting them to say yes on everything I try to say. And eventually, they're going to go, so what do you think Keller Williams lists my house at? Or what do you think my house is worth? I'll say, did you just mention Keller Williams? They give me $50 back immediately. And then that's when the conversation happens of, well, you know what, I really want to go back and give you the true number. So when's a good time for me to pop by and give you that market analysis? And that's your in. It happens a lot because they're curious. They're right around this stage here, and they're freaking out because they put balloons and signs and they're having the helicopter fly around the house. People still aren't coming. And they don't know why. They're going to try and get free information out of it. And then you go with your complete loaded package of emergency case, your presentation, your market analysis, and head for it. Some people ask me, would you do an open house for sale by owner? I'll ask you, you guys are in business. Would you do an open house for sale by owner if they asked you to?
I would.
They sign and they
Right,
reading.
My high seas in the room.
Yeah.
My high seas in the room right there. If they sign, they're going to pay me. I'll do it. The high eyes like, no, they'll be fine. Don't ask them. No worries. No, I'll do 1%. No worries.
But it's the same as you doing it for another agent.
What's the
If somebody-
difference, right?
Exactly, that's how I feel.
What's the difference? So it's basically a one-day listing agreement.
Right.
I sell your house, great. If I don't, I keep all the buyer leads.
Right.
You can see how I work. You get a lot of information. So, do you think it would be more valuable for you to do an open house for a sale by owner, or do an open house for Jim?
For sale by owner. For sale by owner.
You clearly don't know.
But seriously, do you think which one do you think is better?
Sorry, Jim.
I use you as an example, but do you want to do it for another agent who might throw you an overpriced listing because you can't sell it? Because that happens a lot in here. They'll be saying, there'll be an agent, they'll say, I have a new person who wants to do an open house. Which listing can I get a price break for? Oh, that one, yeah. So they'll put you in a house that's 400 days on the market that you can't get anybody to come to.
Right.
Well, you shouldn't take that open house.
You shouldn't take it. However, if you ask
New agent
them,
will know.
a new agent says,
Yeah.
hey, Mr. Meg Agent, do you have an appointment for me? Well, yeah, I can do this. You can do this open house. The new agent's not going to go, well, let's look at the analysis on this here. You have had it on the market for 400 days. You really shouldn't be a Meg Agent. You suck. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I leave the you suck out. Otherwise,
Exactly. Their knees are knocking so hard they'll almost answer them. It's not going to happen. So, which is worth the squeeze, right?
well, it depends.
Sale by owner,
Some of your for sale by owners can be wickedly overpriced.
it could be bad. Yeah, obviously you want to do that, but if you think it's sellable, I would do it all day long. Tom Hopkins, which you're a big fan of, used to say, "I list for sale by owners without even listing them." He had a system where he actually, I don't even know how he did this, but he made name writers for himself to put on there for sale by owner signs. He'd ask them, I'm a realtor, I get people all the time, I'll tell you what, you can keep it for sale by owner. I just want to bring the buyer, that's all I want to do. I don't care about listing your house. You can continue to think you can sell it all day long. But I have a name writer that attaches to all for sale by owner houses that has my contact information. So that when you're at your job, they'll call
They
me.
can call me.
So he would list them and sell them without listing. I need to check FREC and make sure that's still legal. But apparently, it used to be.
I think you could.
I think it is, because it's just a number, right? You're not putting Keller Williams up there. It would just say my name, my phone number. Call this for information. And he said he would sell 100 sale by owners a year that way. It's coming from contribution, right? That's what we're always taught. We want to help them sell their house. We know that they're too hard-headed to list with us at that point. So it's just another step to getting the house sold. So you're basically listing them because they've agreed to work with you. It's just not an exclusive listing. It's more of an open listing kind of thing. Because if, Susie from Coldwell Banker brings a buyer tomorrow, you're out. It's a gamble,
Right.
right? But for a $5 rider sign, is it a gamble we're willing to take? I don't know. It's up to you, it's your business. I'm just throwing ideas at you. You can use what you think is good and say the guy's nuts and don't use it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just telling you that it's happened in the past and it's worked. So before you go and do an overpriced listing open house, think about how many for sale by owners out there who don't have somebody professional to do their open houses that you could, one, get buyer leads for, two, help them sell the thing, and maybe get a listing. Would you consider that lead generation?
Sure.
All day long. So what I'm trying to get you to focus on is that it's not all about the headset. Some of us, guys like me, guys like Joe, we thrive on the adrenaline, on putting the headset on and just calling as many people as possible. That's just what I like to do. But that's a source of lead generation. If that's what you like to do, that's your thing. You can get just as many contacts. I'm talking about getting 20, 30 contacts a day. If you think you can't do 3 open houses a week and get 50 people to come, you can do it. So just think about things like that. Make sense? Good. All right. So this is pretty is a pretty powerful slide. We're going to build some new habits. So I'm not saying that all your habits are bad. Some of you guys have some great habits. Some of you, I don't know. But does your schedule match your goal? Huge question. Now, I talk to agents, and $100,000 seems to be the common thing. If I said to you guys, $100,000 this year, raise your hand. Who would raise your hand? Who would like to make $100 grand? Even if you wanted to make $200 grand, you have to make $100 grand first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, does your calendar match $100,000 income? Who can confidently say yes? And prove it to me right now.
Mine probably does.
Okay.
But I don't know what kind of proof you want.
I mean, is lead generation scheduled? Is lead follow-up scheduled? I mean, to the point where if you move it, you replace it. So I used to work my calendar backwards. What do you think I took off first? December 31st was a fun day for me. One, because the next day we didn't have to go to work. And I would have plenty of time to block out my calendar. I've been a partner with Equitable Title for a few years now, and they give out those beautiful, big desk calendars. You guys have all seen them, right? Mm-hmm. So I would take them on December 31st, I would put them on my desk, I would flip through every page and mark off my long weekends, my vacations, all the stuff I'm not moving. Because what happens if you don't?
You don't take it.
You won't. And I would put a non-refundable deposit on my vacation. Because I am the cheapest man alive. And if I spend $1 on a vacation, I'm going. So that's how I time block my time. Because what's more important, your time or the buyer's time who's going to make you show them 50 houses? Again, if you want to run around and be with nonsense and deal with crazy people all day, Target has got a big sign that says they're hired. You'll be fine there. They can tell you when you can take time off and all that good stuff. That's not why I'm in business. I'm in business to take off my time and go where I want to go. So that's the first thing I did. Time block me. Then you got to time block your stuff. I would time block my appointment times in red. And I didn't have a name yet. So my appointments was Tuesdays, Thursday mornings. I would go on appointments from 9 to 11. And Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 3 to 6. That was my appointment time. I had no idea who I was taking to the dance. I just knew there was a dance and I needed a date. And my lead generation was to get a date for the dance. So it was already time blocked. I have an appointment at that time. I just didn't have a date yet. It's going to stag. So eventually you need to get a person to plug in there. And that's when you block off your lead generation. So if you're doing all three of those things, you block your personal time, you block your appointments, and you block enough lead generation time that's purposeful, you're going to be living a large life. But if you lead generate from 9 to 11, and you have no appointments from 3 to 6, do you get to go home early? What do you replace it with?
More lead generation.
More lead generation. Now, what does that mean to you? I don't know. Like I said, whatever your brand of vodka is. If it means that you want to go door knock, door knock. If it means you want to go call, call. But whatever it is, that's what you got to do at that time. Drive around, look for sale by Amazon, say, hey, look, 3 to 6, I don't have anything today. Let's just go east. See what happens.
I block out my open houses 2 months in advance.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, too, because if you don't...
Even before you know what you're going to do, block them out.
That's the last thing you try to plug in, and you just, sometimes it's like trying to fit that round peg in a square hole. It's like, where do I put this? I know I have to do it, but where does it go?
Well, the other thing it does is when you start getting a lot of listings, you can say to when you're sitting there at the listing point, well, I can do the first open house on such and such a date. In advance, you can tell them 3 weeks is going to be the first open house, or whatever, or a week, or whatever time it works.
I can do an open house from 10 to 6 on Saturday. So yeah, sometimes we would just get in a car as a group and say, listen, I partner up with somebody, because some of my energy, sometimes they do drain your energy. So sometimes I partner up with somebody and say, listen, we're going to go for sale by owner hunting from 3 to 6. Anything we get out of that, we split, and any buyers we split out of that. Doesn't mean you have to be a partner with this person, you don't have to marry him or anything. But it's fun to drive around with somebody besides yourself. gas or whatever. So like I said, if I didn't have any appointments from 3 to 6, I said, hey Dave, let's go fist bun. Which way you want to drive today? Well, we went south yesterday, let's go east. Well, we just start cruising back roads. East. Until about 4:30, and then turn around and come back in a different direction. You'd be shocked at what we find. Be shocked. So just different sorts of thinking. So time blocking is number one. Time blocking. Script practice. Who has a role play partner? Who role plays? You guys role play scripts and dialogues and stuff? Yeah. How often do you do it?
We do it every Monday morning.
Every Monday morning. You do it as a group in your office? Yeah. How's it work?
Good.
Good, right?
First of all, it gets your head in the game right away. Monday
Yep.
morning.
Yeah. Before Joe Perry hits the stage with Aerosmith, how many times have you practiced that solo? I only mention Joe Perry because I've been lucky enough to live down the street from those guys. And we used to, when I was in construction, we worked on their house. And one day I sat with him, I said, man, he was playing the guitar or whatever, and I was like, dude, don't you know that song by now? He played it since 1979. I mean, really? If you play that song one more time, you probably kill yourself. But he'd say, listen, I got one shot. We're playing a gig in the Comcast Center this Saturday night. This song gets played, I got one shot to hit the solo. And this song is so well known, if I miss one note, everybody knows it. So he's like, the fun part for me is when I'm on stage. But what's not fun for me is when I'm sitting in my living room playing the same riff over and over and over and over again. It's boring. However, if he doesn't do it, he's going to have 30,000 people that know he screwed up when he misses that note. So it's the same thing with role play. Would you rather screw up and make a $10,000 loss in front of your client, or would you rather make a $10,000 loss screwing up with me? I'll only make fun of you for a few minutes. Your family will make fun of you for losing $10,000 for the rest of your life. So it's just role play. Nothing to be scared of. Most people don't have a role play partner because they don't want to look stupid. It was a big limiting belief for me. I hate looking bad. We all want to be right. We all want to look good, right? That's our biggest thing in life. We want to look good. We want to be right. But when you role play, you're neither. Because most of the time you're role playing something you're struggling at, so you're wrong and you look bad. But somehow, magically, when you're sitting in front of the client across the table, at the kitchen table, and you throw up that script and it comes out perfect, and they sign the dotted line, you go, it's all worth it. All worth it. If you're going to be a caller for sale by your notice expires and you don't have a role play partner, you are in trouble. You are walking down the train tracks and you're not hearing the choo-choo. It's coming. So I would advise everybody to have at least one role play partner. I would recommend 3. Role play Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, whatever you gotta do. But we're not talking about an hour conversation here. 15 minutes. 7 minutes for you, 7 minutes for me, a minute for critique, and we go. This isn't like, how was your weekend? This is purposeful. So I would recommend that we do that. Lead generation, we've talked about to death. Lead follow-up, and do this schedule electrical. So in this office, we have a scorekeeping system right now. What is that in this office? What do we got going on? It's keeping your score.
Cruise contest.
The
Cruise contest, right? So we're keeping your score for listing appointments, listings taken, closings, referrals to the team leader, all kinds of stuff. Classes attended. You think that people in this office aren't watching what other people are doing and seeing how on track they are versus everybody else? And that motivates them to keep going? Yeah, of course it does. Because when I released this last month, and I said, who's going to go on this cruise? Everybody's eyes lit up like, I'm going. So we'll see who gets there, but it's going to be fun. That's how we keep score for you. Now, as a team member, you can do whatever you want. You can, get grouped together accountability-wise and put stickers on the board or whatever it is. You guys have been in bold, right? Yeah, that's what that was in bold. It held the team aspect. So, visual reminders. Who here has a vision board? Oh, proud of you guys. Awesome. So, with the vision board, you put that someplace you can touch it, right? That's a huge thing. And most of the time you hit your goals because you can see that thing. So I'm proud of you guys for having that. That's pretty awesome. Now, bonded on team and accelerated individual growth. So some of you are saying again, limiting belief. I don't have a team. I have a team. If you have a team leader, an MCA, a director of first impressions, and a productivity coach, you have a mega team. You have enough assets and knowledge to go a mile and answer any question that you have. You have people to help you, teach classes, to show you how to do stuff so you look good. All you have to do is show up, attend those classes. So you have a team. So earn a decade of experience in 90 days. Now, it is the 20th. We have, is it 31 days in this month? Mm-hmm. We have 11 days to prepare. So who would like to go through August, September, and October and see how close to 90 days, how close to 90 listings in 90 days they can get? Who's in?
Me.
I mean, if you get one extra, it's still worth it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's track it. I'm game. We'll track to see who can get close as they can. Now, if you don't put systems in place in the next 11 days, you're not going to get very close. But pick the 3 that you liked, and let's go for it. 90 listings in 90 days is a tough challenge. I'm not saying anybody's going to hit 90. But if you hit 40, yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So, the next 11 days, I say 11 days because what I want you to do is implement the things today. Because over the next 11 days, you're going to see where you're weak. And you'll be able to improve that before you hit your August through October. So go for it in the next 11 days, and you're going to see, I screwed that up. I need a system for that. I can't get 90 listings if I'm taking and importing all my own listings. Who can do that for me? I can't do all my own contract to close. Who can do that for me? There are contract to close companies all day long. Just find a good one and say, here, I just put this on the agreement. Peace out. Pay them $200, $300 at the end of closing, and go sell 70 more houses. You don't have to add. You don't have to hire somebody up front. Just go find a contract to close person and say, here, I just put this under agreement. Make the home inspection. See you. Here's the inspection dates. Let me know what it be. Don't worry about it. But if you're going to get a lot of listings, you need that stuff off your plate. There's nothing worse than having 4 or 5 transactions going and your phone only rings about the bad stuff. I'm sorry, you can call my assistant. She's over here. They don't know that's not your assistant, it's a transaction coordinator. My out front desk, I think it's called, outsourcing it, they're awesome on it. He will work as many hours you want for $8 an hour. That's what you pay the company. What is it? My out desk. Out. It's a virtual assistant. You decide how many hours you want them, and you pay them $8 an hour to do whatever, and you can bonus them whoever you want if you want to bonus. Like I said, most of us are not in a position to go hire somebody full-time right now to take on all our stuff, but there are people that will do it because if there's somebody doing it for 10 hours a week for you, they'd probably get 5 people they're working with. So they make it a living.
They work both sides of the deal.
Exactly, yeah. So, in technology, you got to use the technology to its absolute maximum. You got to know the dot loop system inside and out, know your mobile app stuff, know where to put all of your icons and Facebooks and all that stuff, how to link it all together. Because the more people that know about you, the more people that will vote for you. We are all politicians, whether you want to say it or you're not. And we're all looking for that vote. Vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. Well, when's the last time you went to a ballot and just saw someone in the ballot you never even heard of? It's happened to everybody, right? Mm-hmm. At that point, you just vote whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. But nobody can win president that way. So when you go to vote for president, you go on what beliefs and what you've heard them say and how many times you saw their face. And that's what we're trying to do as agents. We're trying to get as many people to vote for us as possible. So think about what a politician does and go do it. I can guarantee you the politicians don't like doing it, but they have to. I don't think campaigning is on their #1 list.
They call it lead generation.
My dad's 88. My dad's 88. I remember when Obama got voted in. And Everyone in Obama got voted in. He said to me, he goes, "It's so funny." He says, "Can you imagine the conversation after the inauguration when Bush takes Obama in?" And he goes, "All right, well, remember all those promises that you made during the election? Yeah, you can't do any of them because there's about 40 nuclear weapons in the country. We have no idea where they are. There's about 12 terrorists loose in the country. We have no idea where they are. And the bathroom's over there if you want to throw up, and we'll see them out." That's how the conversation goes when they change the keys at the White House. You know, so that's kind of how we have to be. We have to get out there and promise and promise and promise and under-promise and over-deliver. You never want to be in the position of the politicians when they get in the seat and realize that everything they promise is not even possible. Make sense? Highest level of customer service. I talked to my Ignite people today. I'll review it with you guys quickly now. Who here has been to Disney World? Should be most of you. Who here has been to Fun Spot? Which one's better?
Disney.
Fun spot.
What?
No, seriously, which one's better?
Disney.
Which one is the better quality?
Disney.
Disney, right? So, why is it that we deliver Fun Spot customer service? If we know Disney's possible, we've all been there, we know how we feel when we leave, broken happy, then why would we ever want people to only be able to experience Fun Spot? Because that's what most of us deliver, is the Fun Spot experience, not the Disney experience. I have never called my family in Boston and said, tell my sister she got 3 kids,